Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and welcome to Talk O Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary. So, we did not get we didn't get a newer Galnet article this week. We got one last week that coincided with the end of a community goal. And so part of that, I think, is because tomorrow we're supposed to have the first Frontier Unlocked, which is the new format that Frontier is using for talking about all of their product line, which I'm excited about. So I'm sure we'll be covering that once it's done. But for tonight, we're going to take a look at the results of the most recent community goal. That's what this is about. And so I had a couple of comments about the community goal, which was very surprising this time around. And but we're going to go through this article. Like I say, in all these episodes, I don't read these beforehand. I just kind of glanced over as I pasted it into my presentation. And then, so we're kind of experiencing this together. And I mean, come on, it can't be any worse than Winter's Temple of Doom or whatever it was last week. I mean, that was fun, wasn't it? Anyway, so today we've got the Guardian Deliveries Accelerate Anti-Titan project. So the Titans are the massive Thargoid motherships at the center of the maelstroms that appeared in our space a little over a year ago, and they have been the core, they are the core of the Thargoid War. Everything comes from the Titans, and so we've experienced several new vehicles and several new enemies, and all coming from the Titans. And so if we're going to look at a massive project to really strike at the heart of the Thargoids and put an end to the war, it's going to have to be some kind of anti-Titan Death Star, basically. So recently there was a call for Guardian Relics and unclassified relics, which we've in the community have called Relics. They are the Guardian corrupted relics, the ones that turn from peppermint colored to green apple, basically. So that's what today's article is. Let's get through this and get to it and see what's happening in the world of Aegis. We've got shipments of Guardian relics and unclassified relics. Those are the Relics. Have boosted hopes of developing a weapon against the Thargoid Titans. The Aegis-led initiative gathered supplies of the crystalline relics left behind by the Guardian species, as well as the unclassified relics that result when they interface with the Thargoid surface sites. So the Thargoid surface sites are the old Thargoid locations that we found many years ago that has the cool map that you can put the sensors into, and the map will come up. Those are great sites to visit if you never have. And what's really cool is grabbing some of the relics and putting them into the machine and watching the whole process of them being corrupted. It's really it's quite a sight. So yours truly took part in this CG. So I don't normally do CGs, but this was kind of a fun one. I like the Guardians. I like the Guardian sites. I think that the technology is really neat. I think there's a lot of cool lore behind them and things that we don't know that I'm hoping that we someday figure out. But in the meantime, we're kind of stuck with what we've got. So I did participate in that, and yeah. So that was fun. That was fun. A little bit of mining in the dark, because I happened to pick a Guardian site that I guess is perpetually in darkness, so it was night vision all the way, baby. These were requested to support a project based on new theories expounded by engineer Ram Tah, considered the leading expert on Guardian history and technology. Hey, Aidan Tanner, who works as an anti-xenostrategist for Aegis, made a brief comment to Vox Galactica. As always, we're grateful to every pilot who took part to support Aegis. I don't mind sharing that Ram Tah is delighted. Hey, we're happy that Ram Tah is happy. Get it? And is currently refining his theory with the aid of specialists from all three superpowers. Hey, gotta get them in quick before the Federation and the Alliance release their Thargoid captured human beings into the public, and they turn into zombies and attack everybody. Get this done quickly, Ram Tah, okay? We hope to reveal more details soon, very soon. But at this point, it's worth managing expectations around the proposed anti-Titan weapon. Okay. Ram Tah. Ram Tah has been with the Elite Dangerous community for a very long time. He has a history with us. We know who he is, and we know what he's capable of. I like that statement. I do, because it's very important that we temper our expectations. And that's not to say that something isn't coming. I think something is coming, but, is it going to be a giant Death Star floating in space? And maybe, I don't know. Chances are probably not, but we want to temper our expectations always. You always want to go into these situations reasonably, understanding that, hey, you know what? We've got this great plan. We need 1,000 Guardian Jolly Ranchers. We're going to stick them in this machine, and it's going to blow up the Titans in one fell swoop. But if it doesn't work, we told you so. That's basically what that is. It's like, hey, look, I told you this is a great idea. I have this great idea, but if it doesn't work, don't blame me. Way to go, Ram Tah. It remains true that our existing armaments are incapable of inflicting damage on Thargoid motherships. He's right. Everything just kind of bounces off. It's like we're not even there. It's really scary. But if Ram Tah is correct, we may be able to reveal certain vulnerabilities by exploiting a newly discovered aspect of Guardian technology. A spokesperson from Aegis also revealed that Professor Palin is supporting Ram Tah's research, stating it, "The most prominent engineers of our age are once again working together to defend humanity against the Thargoid threat." That's interesting that we found a vulnerability or a new function. It sounds like a little bit of both. It sounds like a new function of the Guardian technology that has opened up a vulnerability in the Thargoids. That's a big deal. That's a big deal because we've been fighting them with kind of this like hybrid. I mean, we've got some Guardian hybrid weapons, but the Titans have pretty much neutralized a lot of that stuff. We're back to just regular weapons and some engineered stuff that's made a difference. But, I mean, we've really had to go back to the drawing board with a lot of the stuff that we've been using as far as combating the Thargoids. And so it's been quite a ride. So it'll be interesting to see what Ram Tah and the Aegis team comes up with. Aegis has confirmed that all participants in the delivery campaign can now collect their rewards from Felice Dock in the main system. So, word of advice. I don't do CGs a lot. I don't. And the problem is that in the Nightwish, we're usually so far out in deep space that we don't get to do these things. So, but I did this one. You won't find me on the roster though, because of, to get credit for a CG, you actually have to turn your relics in. So I have a few on my carrier if anybody's looking for some. There's a whole story behind that. Some things happened, and I actually did not make it to the drop-off point where the CG ended. So what I did end up with was a sense of pride and self-accomplishment and a giant storage bay full of glowing Guardian Jolly Ranchers. Fantastic. It's been quite a week or so. So here we go. So Ram Tah and Aegis are working on a weapon. This is going to be our salvation, right? He's still alive, by the way. Salvation lives. Look, this is like anything else. Aegis and a lot of these agencies, they're not consistent. They have these breakthroughs, they have these grand visions, and then it usually ends up being something that just causes more trouble. And so I'm worried about that. I really am. I'm worried about, what if this new vulnerability that Ram Tah and them have come up with ends up being something worse, and it just stirs the hornet's nest even more, because we can't do any damage to the Titans. What if the Titans were just start floating around and set down in the middle of Earth, or go for Akinar, or some of the other major population centers? Right now, they're kind of on the outskirts. It's a risk. It's a war risk. It's a thing that we've got to look at all our options, and this sounds like a big one. I'm going to manage my expectations, as Ram Tah so eloquently put it. So that is what we've got. So We did, like I said, we didn't get a Galnet article this week. This one's from a couple of days ago, from the end of the CG. We've got a Frontier live stream tomorrow. I would think that anything that's going to happen with this, we will hear tomorrow after the live stream or post live stream. So we won't hear. I don't think we won't hear anything before then, because this weapon and this reeks of like next level. This is like next step stuff in the war effort. So I wouldn't expect us to hear anything at least for a day or so, maybe even a couple of days. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a fantastic turnaround time. It's like, hey, we need several thousand of these things. Pilots turn them in, and in a few days, Ram Tah and them have a weapon ready to go. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't know, but that's kind of where it seems to be going. But I don't know. We've seen Aegis blow it out of the water, and we've seen them fall on their faces more times than I can count. So, and as we know, I'm not a big fan of these kind of agencies, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But in the meantime, these are the disciples. These people keep this channel and all of my social media, everything that I do as Commander Exorcist. These people keep it running. Thank you for your contributions. I could not do it without you. I appreciate you every day. If you would like to support this channel in any way, you can go to patreon.com/Commander Exorcist and join as a congregant or a disciple and become one of us. Join us in this journey across the galaxy as we hope to protect humanity against the encroaching alien genocidal race. We've got Taco Tuesday, and that's it. Guardian Relics in the Eden's Gate fleet carrier if you need any, because yours truly was too late to turn them in. So, they make great Christmas presents, and they make great night lights for you if you want to put one over in the corner. It constantly glows. Never needs to be recharged as far as I know. So, but that is it. Hey, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for being part of the Commander Exorcist experience. And, we'll have to wait and see. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming, and I think that... I like to say that we're just getting started, but I think that we're just getting started to the big stuff. I think this is going to be big. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, hey, everybody, take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.